Welcome to Toronto, my hometown. It's a pleasure to have you here. Um, we're going to talk about today on how you design agents in Agentforce. Okay, so having a conversation last night with somebody over at the pre-event party, I realized that we're making self making kind of the same mistake as they always do, is that now everything's called Agentforce. So when they say, okay, we're going to talk about Agentforce, it's like, which one? So the one we're going to talk today is how you build agents with Agentforce. There's Agentforce Vibes, there's Agentforce Portal. Well, there's a whole bunch of different Agentforce. The one we're talking about today is the one that you use to build agents. Okay, good. So when Agentforce, the new Agentforce, came about on December 5th, the beta, I was probably one of the first ones to actually sign up for the beta and start working. And I was really excited about the possibilities that Agentforce brings. Agentforce agents bring. Compared to the legacy agent. Okay, we'll talk about that in detail, why that's important, and that's basically what I'm building my session. So when I started in the beta program, I was like, so is it true that you can do deterministic agents? What does that really mean? How do you do them? I'm gonna test it. Okay. I'm gonna actually try to create a very complex process that must be deterministic. That the traditional Agentforce, which it's now called legacy, is gonna fail, and it's not gonna be able to do what it needs to do. So I decided on building a service agent for selling music, right? So I'm not making money. You cannot buy clones here. It's just a pretend, but it works. It currently is running, and the idea is like a Spotify, kind of, much more expensive, of course. I want to make sure nobody's crazy enough to try to buy anything. So then I have to do with credit card numbers, which I didn't want to deal with. So it's really expensive, but that's not the idea. The idea is there's a website that I vibe coded, or maybe I should say Claude, I vibe coded, and which is that website right there. And then I had already a couple of sessions built around this particular demo. I'll give you the link for that and stuff. It's all on YouTube. Hopefully this one is being recorded. Hi, Mom. And it goes well, and then you can see the sequel to that series. So the first one is, so what is it? Okay, that's the first session I did for the California community. Second one was with Sunny, and which is okay, as a developer, what do I need to do to make Agentforce work, right? And then I kind of felt there was a missing piece. Is as an architect, and we are all architects, especially if you're like in vibe coding, you're not a developer. You must migrate into being an architect who thinks what needs to be written. You tell what needs to be written to Claude will create. Okay, so our job is we're now architects, by type or not, how we are. And what's the process that you have to go through to be able to design, architect, build, and make? And that is the session that I'm bringing to you next. My name is Andrés Pérez, also known as Authority. All right. So first and foremost, before I continue, thank you. Thank you for being here. If you guys were not here, I would not be here. Well, it's kind of boring teaching to an entry. So thank you so much. And for those of you who are partners, anybody partners here? Yes. All right. So thanks to Ben as well. And the If anything goes wrong, everything goes wrong. All right. So what is El Toro IT Music Store, right? There's a company, no, there's not. No. But there's a company called El Toro IT Music Store. Of course, all my projects are also always called El Toro IT. That's my project. And what they do is they have a website that allows customers to research, find, listen, enjoy, purchase songs. If you don't purchase a song, you can only view like 30 seconds. If you purchase it, then you can see the whole song. And then one of the problems that they were having is that if I wanted to purchase, I would have to go to a different page, purchase, and then go back and stuff. It was kind of a cumbersome UI. So what they wanted was an agent where just staying on the same page, you can open the agent and you can say, buy this song. Buy a pass, you can buy a weekly, daily, monthly pass, buy credits, stuff like that. Okay. Now that is a very complex deterministic process. That is built is very complex on purpose. Not going to go into the details of how what makes it complex, but there's an upsell. You can buy credits with coins, with money, with this, with that. You can buy pass. If you have a pass, you can buy a song if you don't have to buy. So there's a very complex deterministic process that the agent has to really understand. Well, that was not possible to do with the legacy Agentforce. It's only possible to do with a new Agentforce. All right. I built 2 sessions, one with Tali, one with a community group in San Ramon. There is a YouTube. You can watch them later. You'll be sure. Have anybody seen them? Thank you. Come on, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So there's a link in there. I'm not going to go into it because of course I have a little bit of time trying to set up. But basically, it's you get the idea of what the website does. Right? Okay. Good. How do you design an agent? There are 4 phases to designing and architecting an agent. The first one is the design. Then we have building. Then we have testing. And last but not least, we have moving. And it's a loop. You go around and around and around because each time you try to make your agent better and better and better. You're never done because you can always make it better. And how many of you have built agents? Well, good, excellent. How many of you have built a new agent before? Good, excellent. If you're a software developer, AX or whatever, you know that your projects are never finished. It's like good enough, ship it, right? You can always make it. You can always make it. You can always make it. So that's why it's a loop. All right. And actually, that is going to be the agenda for today. First, a little bit more. I think it will be quick because about half of you already know what the Agentforce is. And then we're going to the really, really important part, which is the cycle. It's called the agent design cycle. All right. But before we start, we kind of need to talk about Agentforce. Before we talk about the cycle, we need to talk about the agent. So with Agentforce, you can build obviously agents that allows you to reason, have a conversation with a human, and take actions on behalf of them. That's basically what an agent is. And Agentforce is the tool that Salesforce gives us to build those agents. So they do understand questions. Sometimes we call that questions, or maybe even for conversations. You know a new song by what was the latest album by Shakira? Okay, what are the top 5 songs on that album? Okay, let's listen to the first one. I like it. Bye. That's a conversation, right? Okay. The other thing that allows you to do is to ground your agent in data. It can be Salesforce data. It can be data 360. It can be API calls with some systems and whatnot. Most of the work here with this agent is actually API. It's a really good API called Last Heaven, which is actually Spotify use. I learned that somewhere from. Hi, honey. So where it's a collection of all the songs and stuff, so you can get a lot of details from that. And I went with that because it was very great data. All right. And even though I say that the agents take actions, they don't take actions. They delegate the actions. Okay? Delegate. To whom? To an Apex, to a front template, to an API, to something else. Right? So agents are good for having a two-way communication with the user and delegating to the flows, Apex front templates, and whatnot. Actually, I was with somebody else in a different session this morning, and she said, I need to create an agent to, I'm thinking about doing this, which doesn't really involve a human. So what type of agent should I do? And it's like, no, you don't build an agent. With prompt templates, that's all you do. Because there's no communication. If you do need a communication, that's where the agent is. The agent needs to take action. Apex flows from templates. Now, Agentforce also comes with tools that allow you to build repeatable and testable agents, which includes testing center and SPDM, session tracing data model. Cool. Take a little detour. Anybody driven snow before? Come on, I don't know. Most of you have. If you're living in Toronto or in Canada, you have. So, I want to show you a quick little video. Oh, shoot. Because that was going to be a question I was going to ask them. You didn't hear from Amy that she said Montreal. That's not Montreal. No. So which city is this? So yeah, Tommy. All right. So look at that. That is driving on snow. When you drive on winter, and I want you to notice that the wheels of the car are not turning.
Oh my God.
I know. So when you drive a car in summer, you drive. Where to go? Turn left, the car turns. Turn right, the car turns. Stop, the car stops. On snow, you make suggestions. Mr. It would be good to stop. Well, obviously not. Right? Let's turn to the left hand now. Let's keep going straight. It's easier. Right? So you make suggestions to the car. Yeah, even the look at the police. All right. Exactly. Well, that's a frictionless experience. All right. So let's get back to seriousness. And we're going to talk about legacy versus the legacy report versus the new. That is the legacy agent, right? You create topics, now calls of agents, even in the legacy. In the topics, you write instructions where you're saying, Mr. Agent, would you think that it would be good if we actually ask this to the user? And the agent says, nah, we're not going to ask that to the user. And it doesn't, right? Right? That's like driving snow. You cannot control it. You can only make suggestions. That's why your instruction says, please always make sure that you always and never do this, because you're trying to convince the agent, you're trying to convince a car telling you on the street, not in Montreal, that stop, right? But it's not going to stop. It's going to do what the agent wants to do. And that's the difficulty of building agents. That doesn't happen the same way with a new agent, because you have more control. So that's Dragon Snow. With Agentforce, the new one, now you have control and you can do things deterministically. I want you to run this action. You're not making a suggestion, you're giving a command. And it will do it. Another very interesting thing, is well documented, but once you actually start working on it, you'll realize that's a really good benefit, is that the instructions that you send to the LLM are dynamic. That's very, very important. Nobody's really talking about that. Except you heard that authority. What that really means is that in the legacy, you have 20 different instructions, one for case A, one for case B, one for case C. And the LLM will choose, I want to do A. I want to do B because I feel like it, right? And rather than no, you're not actually telling exactly what to do. With conditions like that picture over there, you say, when this condition is true, run this instruction. Otherwise, run this instruction. So you're not sending all the instructions at the same time, you're deciding which instructions you're going to send to the LLM. So it's actually much easier to control what the LLM will actually do. Okay? That's one of the really cool key aspects of Agentforce. So the most powerful agents are not the autonomous ones. It's not about doing a lot of things. It's the one that you can really trust. And you're going to trust it because you're going to say, in this particular situation, I want you to execute this particular instruction. And forget about everything else. You cannot tell me everything else. I got that inside my API. So you're going to be able to now, with the help of the new Agentforce, trust your agents. And that was possible, or that allowed me to build that complex deterministic engine, which was not possible otherwise. So, another one for you. All right, good. So, probabilistic, which is still very important. You're not building 100% Apex engines, which are 100% deterministic. You need room for probabilistic behavior. But you gotta be very careful where you do that. Where you want to do that, it's in the conversational piece of your agent. Because the user can actually use, if you were doing this in Apex, they have to send you this integer, this variable, this data, this variable, and this. But with agents, the user can say, purchase a phone, buy a phone, buy a truck. I want to own that. Right? So it needs to have some type of deterministic. So probabilistic, sorry. So for the natural language, you do want that probabilistic and not for the business rules. So with the new Agentforce, you're able to actually combine those two. Would you trust the business, your business, to a non-deterministic agent? Because enterprise demand deterministic agent. And now with the new Agentforce, that is possible. All right. I want to talk about something else that I heard a lot of different opinions from the trailblazers like yourself. So I want to kind of do a little bit of fun stuff. I want you to, in the next slide, tell me what you see. Right? The first thing that comes to your mind is probably the first. Because I promise I will not do tricks on you. Got it? The first thing that comes to your mind is probably the right answer. Okay? Yesterday I was at breakfast with my son and I showed him the presentation and I said, okay, I'm going to quiz you. What do you see? And then he was like, I see this. That's not really what I think you see. So the first thought, oh, it's the best one. Right? Okay, good. What do you see?
Money.
Money. How much? 100. $100 bill, right? You got that? That's what you see? Okay, good. That's what I wanted you to see. What about now? What do you see? $100. Is it the same bill?
Yeah.
Yes, it is the same bill. Good. Can you take 50 or you take the front of 50 and I'll take it back the other 50?
No.
No, because it's indivisible. It's one bill. Where's this guy going to? I know your places. You see nothing about that. You were talking about it. Okay? Good. What do you see? First thought is the correct one, I promise. What do you see? a website, the authority music store.
Reminds me of
iTunes. Build. All right. Let's say everybody agree that's the website. All right. Good. What about now?
F12.
Is it the same? Make sure you run it to Claude to fit it to code. Is that the same type?
Same but different.
It is. If I have $50, $100 bill, and $100 bill, is it a different bill?
Same.
If I have this website and I have a code, the different view, but it's the same.
Same.
That's where you understand what I'm leading to or not yet?
Yes.
All right, good. What do you see?
Agent builder.
Agent builder. Come on. What about now?
Agent builder.
Is it the same agent?
Yes.
Good. Got it? So people say, oh, but I don't like working on agents free. I don't like working in Canada. It doesn't matter. You're working on the same agent. It's one and only one agent. Well, I want to work in Canada. Okay. You're not building the same agent. But I want to switch to agent. Okay, you can do that. So with that, you're able to build exactly the same agent. One of the issues that came, or one of the questions, I kind of repeated questions that came on my two previous videos that I recorded on YouTube was like, that's Canada, that's not agent straight, that's nothing. There's two ways of viewing the same thing, two sides of the same bill, but it's the same bill. Right? Make sense? All right, good, excellent. If you're interested, and hopefully you are, you can find the two videos that I recorded on my YouTube channel. One is what is agent? Okay. And the next one is I'm a developer, I'm a builder. I want to build agents. What do I need to know? And today is, okay, now that I understand, let me think about architecting and designing. What do I need to actually think about when I'm designing an agent? Because if you understand what you're designing, you can tell Claude to build it for you. All right. So we're going to talk about the 4 pages, which are the design, build, test, and monitor of your agent. But before I get there, what do agents do? The project works in a control demo. It works in my sandbox, but that doesn't work in our production. Some of the common failures that you will face is that there's no boundaries defined for the agent. You were not specific enough when you designed your agent to indicate what you wanted that agent to do and not to do. You didn't have testing artifacts. And then there's no way to observe what the agent is actually doing in real time. It works in the builder, but once my users are using it, I don't have the builder. How do I troubleshoot that? We're going to talk about it today. All right. So basically, the agents were not architected on what I'm calling today the agent design cycle. All right. And what is the agent design cycle? Design, build, test, and monitor. So let's talk about the designing phase. What does it go when you're thinking about the designing of your agent? There's one word or term that you may hear when you or read about it called the jobs to be done. This is what this is the job of the agent. This is what I want the agent to do. What do I want it to do? Well, that's the job. Come on. So the job defines the outcomes. What does the agent do? Don't think at this time when you're designing, oh, you know what, I want this agent to do, so I'm going to build an agent. No, don't think about it. Don't think about front-end. Think about what it will do. We'll worry about how it will do it later. But right now, what does it need to do? What does it not need to do? So your job should be narrow, so you can define it clearly. Not just music stuff. No, more narrow. But broad enough, so it's not, oh, I want to be able to sell this song from Shakira. No. I love Shakira. And then it must be specifically your job, so you can test it. All right. So in context of that website that I built, what are my jobs? I want to find music. I want to buy music. I want to answer purchase questions. I want to recognize an album. So one of the things I did, I didn't show you because I didn't want to demo, is you get your phone on the agent, you take a picture of an album cover, you say, oh, that's cover is blah, blah, blah. Okay, what type of music is in there? This song. Okay, let me listen to the first one, whatever. All right. And also escalate to a human when needed. Those are the jobs that the agent is going to do. Mr. Monitor, what time is this session over? 15 minutes. 15 minutes more. Okay, I need to speed up. All right. Build that tolerance set. Okay. Basically, what is the questions that the users are going to be asking? And those tolerances are based on your jobs. Find music, buy music, etc. What type of? I'm not gonna go all that. It takes too much time. But I was gonna ask you, what tolerance will the agent accept? And actually, I have a list of them right over here. Where this is what the type of tolerances my agent will actually accept. All right. So then we move into the building phase. This is actually where we think about what an agent can actually do. There's 5 attributes. You may have seen that slide before. There's a role, there's knowledge, actions, guardrails, channel. The role is what does the agent do? And in my case, they help users buy and enjoy music. That's what the agent's scope is, or job role is. And how do we do that? With sub-agents and instructions. We have knowledge. What does it know? It knows about music. It knows about my customer policy, my website policies. It knows about music. Where does it know that from? It knows that from CRM data, from integrations, etc. What are the actions? Well, you can sell songs, you can upsell songs. And that is from APIs and flows and stuff like that. Government, what are they not allowed to do? They're not allowed to sell music for free, right? They have to charge. If you don't have it, don't let it play. And where? Inside of it. All right. So we talked about those tolerances before. My intention was not to read all of them, but then you group them by sub-agents. There's going to be a sub-agent for discovery, one for sale, one for escalations, one for sales pass, credit sales, multimodal, and RAP. Okay, so that will guide you how you're going to build your agent in one of those sub-agents based on the type of questions that you're going to be letting the user ask. Then you start building sub-agents and actions. And you can, if you define properly, you can actually ask Claude to build the agent for you. Since it's just text, you go in the agent script. You flip it around, the canvas is an agent. All right. There is information on YouTube on how to actually watch those things. Then we move into testing. There's different types of testing. Okay. So great programming is not about solving problems, but rather iterating over ideas until they survive. You will never, ever, ever get it right the first time. You'll get closer and closer and closer and closer until you reach what you really want. Here. All right. So when you are working on an agent, you're going to build it, you're going to run it, you're going to validate it. Until you get it. Iterate over correctness. You want to test your sub-agents. You want to test your actions. You want to test different tolerances, etc. All right. Now, testing agents is a little bit different than testing Apex. It's kind of the same idea. You're going to run it and see that it works. But because the language is non-deterministic, you will ask one question, it will always give you different answers. So you cannot check word by word. What you can check is that it actually did it work the same way, that the same sub-agents, the same actions were actually called, the same type of instructions were actually followed, but the response you cannot just check. All right. There's also debugging. You got when you're on the builder, you got a really good debugging tool. When you're calling actions, it will tell you what was the input to that, what was the output from that, what was the order of your reasoning, of your execution, all that good stuff. Come on, it's not clicking. All right, so then we move into monitoring. That's the session tracing data model that will help you with tracing observability. One of the really good things about this is that it shows you in runtime after you deploy to production and your real users interact with your agent, what's actually going on. What was the question? What was the answer? What was the apex called? With what parameters? What does it return? All that beautiful things. And the tools are very similar, identical, kind of, to the ones that you use in the builder, and you will get familiar to them. It also evaluates the overall sessions. How many were deflected? How many were abandoned? You have a lot of really good statistics. As a builder, you got to wait. I'll show you that next slide. All right. So as an administrator, business guy, you want that information which will tell you statistics about your agent. As a builder, you want the same UI that you had in the builder for real use cases for the actual users interacting with your agent in real time. All right. There's another demo. I'll post the slide somewhere, and you'll get them. I see a lot of you taking pictures. They are also in, or they will be. Hopefully, this is being recorded into YouTube. All right. So, in order to work with the session tracing, you got very pretty screens, or you can actually do developer stuff by doing queries into the objects. And there's a whole bunch of different objects, and it's very complicated. That's the bad news. The good news is that you don't need that anymore because Salesforce just released something that will give you in one single shot all the JSON payload that you can feed into Claude. Say, okay, this is what is going on. Tell me what is not working the way that it is. All right, last slide. Which of these two houses would you prefer to live in? Follow the model, the life cycle that we talked about, where you have the design, the build, the test, and your monitor as the foundation of your building, and you have a very pretty agent working. Don't follow it. You know what's going to happen. Thank you again for all the sponsors. And if we have time, I would like to go into the Q&A. So, Mr. Monitor, do you have time?
6-7 minutes.
All right, good, excellent. Thank you.
Can you put that link in on the session trace OTel API?
Yeah, open telephony. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's quite very new. Right here.
So it's in beta?
It's supposed to be GA. It hasn't quite worked for me yet. I'm talking with the PM about it and stuff. One of the perks of being a Salesforce employee. But it will be there eventually. They told me that it was because of whatever, but all right.
So we can access that, and the agent access that? How did I mess up just now?
Not your agent, but your claw can access that. You give the agent script, you give that. You combine them, say why did not doing what I needed to do, and it will do it. It will fix it for you, deploy it, work, depending on how you want to do it.
Agent can't self-correct.
But the agent cannot. Good question. Anything else? I kind of feel bad because everybody, they're all the sessions, they're happy names, they have to be in swag. People cheap guy. Cheap name. Or anything else? Does that make sense? You like it?
Is that website the music store? Is it?
It is. It's interesting.
So I went to Authority.
It's not, yeah, it is live. It's in Heroku. You have to know the URL. I don't know if it's in
It's not like.
It is live, but not live.
Okay. So you built an agent 6 months ago, this didn't.
It's done November and December, yes.
If we, others,
Oh,
is there an upgrade path?
oh, that's a really, really good question. And the answer is yes, but no.
Just rebuild it in the new way.
Why not? The problem with the legacy one, not the thing, is the architecture. So if you migrate the architecture, you're gonna run into agent script with the wrong architecture. Right? Because you don't have, so what I heard people do is Salesforce released last week, I think, a tool that allows you to take your old legacy agent force and port it into agent script. But it doesn't have the if conditions, the deterministic, it doesn't have that. Then you add either the side panel on Agentforce, which they have made a lot better in home. Okay, I'll figure it out. So you look at the
You just kept saying, I analyzed the session trip. Okay, but it's fine.
Oh,
Analyze the session
I
trip.
think it's only working with it.
No.
All right. So then you take into law and you say, okay, with the new Agentforce Flex 2.0 skill and all this stuff. And you say, okay, I need you to make it deterministic, and it will. Correct. Keep working. But there's another one, because you have to change the architecture. Not about copying the instruction space, copy. No, which you don't want. All right, are we over time?
Still got 4 minutes.
Keep them out.
So you were saying that you've seen that agent thingy work. Like if you put it.
No. You told me that it
I'm
wasn't.
wondering if you've seen it work.
I don't work. I thought love it.
It's worked for little things, but anything a little complex.
Yeah, so
It just breaks. it down.
we currently have something that's called Agentforce Vibes. We're releasing something else which is called 2.0. Vibes 2.0. Vibes. Uh-oh. I hope my manager, please shut it off. Marketing off. Turn off the comments. Yeah, this is the recording. I have to click this for my video. I guess I'm in holidays right now. I'm in PTO, application mode, so I guess I don't have the self-profile, so I can tell you the truth. Agentforce 1.0, Salesforce tried to do Claude. Claude is really good at doing Claude. Salesforce is really good at doing it. But with 2.0, we're actually making Claude better. We're leveraging Claude, the agent, but giving it more knowledge, more tools, more abilities. So we have a GitHub repo with a whole bunch of different skills for Claude. We have with a headless 360, we have more APIs, more CLIs, more MCPs that Claude with the skills and leverage. Right? We're not trying to do what Claude does, which they do really well, while reinvent the wheel, right? But rather try to improve it, which is kind of the idea that Salesforce came from day one, which I think is amazing. We never created an LLM. We relied on other LLMs. That's not our specialty. Our specialty is to make those things better. So same thing happens with that. How was that, Mark? When you were watching my video, probably I didn't like too much.
Comparison with the Spotify, what gaps are you trying to improve with your store? do you consider the Agentforce is doing something that is improving Spotify?
I wanted something that can be run and controlled through the key. The website was the same as complicated as Spotify, where you have to learn to use the UI. Not that difficult, they try to make it easy to learn. But when you have an agent, you just speak it for what you talk to. You don't have to learn. Because you do it in funny. So you have to you don't have to learn it. You can have the same behavior without having to learn the UI. Also in the website, now I know the website for your built in forms. You were listening to a song, you have to go to the store to buy it, then come back here, you want to track, you don't know where you are. And some of that idea came from you. From that amazing demo that you did a year ago.
No, I appreciate that, but this is all you.
But the idea, the idea.
The idea was an integration with Spotify. You took it. That was it.
All right, good. All right, thank you so much.